Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. Thanks for joining us for another video. In today's video, we're going to look ahead to the Manchester United versus Liverpool match. My nerves have been setting in since Monday, and I know someone whose nerves have been setting in even before that was you on Sunday. So kick us off with your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, well, people are talking about this game, massive game. Could the season be over? To be honest with you, I'm glad the game's at Old Trafford and not Anfield because, I watched Liverpool Sunday against Manchester City. I turned the volume up. I listened to the Liverpool Anthem, which I can't stand and many Reds can't stand, but I had to put myself through it. And I think to myself, I'm glad it's at Old Trafford because we have a chance to beat them. And to be honest, if we don't win, the season could be over because I don't trust these players to put in a performance. So that's how big this game is. Looking forward to it. But my worry about the game is where are the goals going to come from?
Just take yourself back there. Tell me why you put yourself through listening to that Liverpool anthem. Because I've never done that in my life. If I'm watching it on telly, the telly gets turned right down until that ball's kicked off.
No, that's true. I had to suffer to get myself a little bit of pain, to get the week in, to get me thinking about it and to get the confidence. Because after that Everton game, which was a poor tactically game, passing, everything about it, the quality was poor. And I thought to myself, we've got Liverpool in the FA Cup. I need to watch this and I need to go through the pain. It's what we have to do sometimes. And then we have to try and find little bits of hope.
So how do you expect Liverpool to come into this one tactically?
Well, I think that if you just look at them, the quality between Liverpool and Man United, and it pains me to say it, it's like chalk and cheese. Liverpool, well organised. You can't argue with that. They keep going for 90 minutes. Unlike Man United, you just get moments in games. And I just fear that the passing quality, United have to improve because that midfield is wide open at times. And the way Liverpool hunt you down, and I mean they hunt you down, and I think that's what tactically they will do straight away. That's what worries me, and United have to improve on it.
So you think Liverpool just play the same game then? They're not coming here to try to change their own game plan that they play from week to week because you see real big problems in that centre midfield that they'll capitalise on anyway?
Yeah, I think teams right throughout the season. I've looked at the midfield and I don't see any reason why Liverpool would change the tactics. They'll go for it. They'll keep coming down the wings and they'll just attack. That's what they do right through the game. But they keep possession of the ball as well and they don't leave themselves open. And that's the difference when United attack and they keep trying to attack, they leave themselves open. So that's the big issue I see coming up on Sunday. And Ten Hag has got a week to prepare this game, which is a long time really. We're getting week to week now, whereas Liverpool are being interrupted with midweek games. They've got one on Thursday in the, I think it's Europa League or something. Some European competition.
We could be in it next season, to be honest with you, depending on where we finish this season.
Yeah, well, we'll see where we are after this game. Everyone's attitude will change. If we win, everyone's attitude will change. If we lose, it's a massive game. But getting overrun is the problem. So it's down to Ten Hag with this week to prepare and get it right tactically.
One thing I don't think we will do, and that's play out from the back, do you? I think he'll look to go long every time, Andre Onana, when he's got the ball.
I don't think United will be able to go out from the back, passing it about. I think Liverpool will jump on United and try and work them mistakes. That's how I see it. I look at the game, FA Cup, quarter-final, Old Trafford. I've been there before, 1999, FA Cup, quarter-final, 1-0 down, and we win 2-1. So deja vu again, I hope, from a footballing point of view, but it's going to be tough. They will chase United down. They won't stop. You look at Liverpool, nothing's changed tactically for them with all the injuries they've had. Anyone what's come in, whether it's centre halves, full backs, midfield players, attackers, they just slot in and nothing changes. Whereas with United, and this is the problem. You don't know what you're going to get from the players tactically because there's that many changes through injuries. Nothing is consistent.
Yeah, but like you've just said there, though, nothing changes with Liverpool when there's injuries, whether it's left back, centre midfield, centre forward. But Why can't we do that here at Old Trafford?
Well, that's a big question, Kieran. Big
Is
question.
that coming down to the managers? The quality and difference between managers? No, let's not duck the issue. Let's not shirk it. Let's have a conversation, and a proper one, of why is it not happening here at Old Trafford? Yeah, we can blame the players sometimes for poor performances, or when they're going through a sticky patch, so to speak, and they're not performing to the way we all want them to play. But why can't the manager get to players to come into a team and perform in the way he wants them to?
I don't know whether you can just stick it on one thing. Listen, the manager has to carry some blame on this, do you know what I mean? The motivation and all that, because start games, whether it's the first start of the game or whether it's the start of the second half, players don't seem to be up for it. So you can sort of like criticise the manager. Lots of people out there do. You can criticise the players. You can criticise the coaching staff. It's not just one thing with United. It just seems to be an issue after an issue. We play one game, next thing you know, off-field antics just blows up in the air. Players coming out, unrest, players coming out with comments, leaking stories, things like that. It never stops. And I've said it time and time again, inside the club, there's a disease, there's a virus, what's going on. So you could have a good game and then something comes out. So you can't really put it down to one thing. To judge Erik ten Hag, to judge the players, I think that decision, where I'm going to come out with, is it Erik ten Hag, is it the players, is over the summer to see the change, what goes on, whether they believe, Ineos, that Erik ten Hag's the man, keep him in place. If that's so, then they must know what the big problems are behind the scenes. That's how I look at it. If they retain Erik ten Hag in the summer, then at the end of the day, there is big problems going on inside that club, and it won't be down to Erik ten Hag. That's how I see it. And if you see players getting booted out, which I expect, then you've got to look at it and say, these players have got to shoulder a big blame for this, what's gone on, because you don't know what you're getting. And you're playing Liverpool, it's the FA Cup, and the season could be over. That is a nightmare for Manchester United, an absolute nightmare. But my problem with the game, right throughout the season, is the conceding of shots on goal. And if they don't get that and they don't block that out against Liverpool, I fear for United. So, like I said from the beginning, they've got a week to prepare. Erik ten Hag here, big. To me, I think it's his biggest game of the season now. I think it's his biggest game, not just for football, for his future, and for certain players in there. So he's got a week to prepare. So tactically, he has to get it right. But we cannot keep conceding as many shots on goal as we have been doing. Not against Liverpool. It's the FA Cup, and sometimes it can be a mad game. Sometimes it can be a boring game. But I don't see this at all being a boring game.
Yeah, we've seen in a couple of matches recently that United have played like with a false nine, so to speak. But the Denmark coach for the national team come out and said that he expects Rasmus Højlund to play on Sunday against Liverpool and must go through the match well. That's what we expect. We are in contact with Manchester United. I have talked to Erik and we expect it to happen. So he's confident that he's going to play on Sunday, which is a big bonus for us because he's already a big player for Manchester United.
It's a massive bonus for us. I expect him to be sub, because if you look at that subs bench, it's not good enough to change a game. Certainly not good enough. You looked at it against Manchester City, right? We did well, we fought well. One or two chances, that was it. But when you looked at Erik ten Hag looking at the bench to say, right, you come on, can you change the game? I don't see the bench at the moment being able to change the game. So at the end of the day, if Højlund is on the bench, then at least we've got somebody what can come on and change the game.
There's going to be that pivotal point
yes,
where if we are going long from the goalkeeper, he's going to be expected to hold the ball up or at least try and get the knockdowns, the second balls. And that's where the midfield are going to have to come into play in this one. That any of the second balls, they're going to have to get onto it, because if Liverpool get the foot on the ball, it could be good night if they keep on getting them second balls and we're not getting them tackles in.
Yeah, I think what it is with the midfield being wide open and they're going to press our back forward and try and stop that ball coming out. We will need a target man to try and aim for him, keep hold of the ball and bring other players into it. But it's going to be so tough. And like I say, got a week to prepare, and I'm really worried about it, and I'm really happy about it, and I'm really giddy about it, and I'm just everything about it. And, how I am now feeling about it, I just got to go back to that quarter-final in 99 and say, what a day that was. What an absolute day. And I just hope it happens again. And I've got to go with a score here. And that's the score I'm going with. 2-1. I'm going with 2-1. You know, I think they'll score. But I think United will get 2. Honest to God. I've just got to go back to deja vu. 99.
I'm going to go back to deja vu when I was sat here on the channel with you the other year when, well, it was Eric Ten Hag's first 2 games. He got done by Brighton and Brentford. And I think the next game after that was Liverpool. And you was the only person, I think, in the whole comments section, even leading up to the week that day, people was talking to, expecting Manchester United to get beat here at home to Liverpool. And you actually said that, no, they'll turn it around. This is big pressure on Manchester United. And the crowd, everyone inside that stadium will give the players a lift, the manager a lift. And you expected United to win that day, and they did do. So.
Yeah, because I just thought they were right up against it, and he was going to make changes. And people were going to get told certain things in no uncertain terms. And I think that's what's happened. And I think players here on Sunday will be told in no uncertain terms, perform or that's it.
The poor thing is, though, we sat here and we're actually discussing previous games from a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and we can't actually base our result off anything we've seen this season from Manchester United or anything recently in games, because that's how underwhelming this team have actually been, and the manager in that at times this season. And that's what the big problem is for me.
But you can
you can't get the confidence from it.
But you can turn around and say, from the last game we played them, 0-0, right? We can battle, we can show that we can stand up to him and hold them. And not many teams go to Anfield and get a point, never mind win. So at the end of the day, the position Man United were in, they did well to battle it out and sort of stop them playing football. So that's what you hope for. And if that continues on Sunday, that type of battling, that type of game, and Højlund is sub, and he comes on and changes the game, that's how I'm looking at it. So they're my positives. They are good positives. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm nervous, excited, but I'm not confident. I've got to be honest with you. And like I say, based on injuries, what happened to the squad, you know, Rasmus Højlund coming back after injury, even if he does start this one, you know, let's hope he can hit the ground running. But most of all, let's hope he don't pick up a recurrence of an injury again. Do you know what I mean? Because that's always, you know, in the back of your mind as well when it's a player's first game back, especially against the side that's just going to keep running at you and running all game. So, yeah.
Score.
Hopefully near it. No, I'm not giving a score.
You've got to give a score.
No, I'm not giving a score.
No. You can't do that. You're playing Liverpool.
A score. No way am I giving a score. No. I can't. I'm only going to go against United, and I can't. I can't do that. And because I don't see anything positive what we've been doing recently or against the big teams this season. What's going to actually get us the result. And I just hope on the day Liverpool have a shocker. Manchester United do actually turn up, you know, and we produce an FA Cup moment. Do you know what I mean? One of them.
Right, well.
But in terms of a score, I'm just going to go Manchester United win. Do you know what I mean? That's all I can do. I've got to be honest with you.